He sat in silence while the noise of the world tried to pull him apart. Messages kept coming, expectations kept rising, and everyone seemed to want a piece of him. One day, he finally gave in. He said yes when he meant no, stayed when he should have walked away, and sacrificed his peace just to keep others comfortable. But that night, staring at the ceiling, he realized something painful. No one else felt the weight he was carrying. In that quiet moment, he made a decision that would change everything. He chose himself. There comes a point in life where you must ask yourself a hard question. How much of your peace are you willing to trade just to be accepted, liked, or understood? Stoicism teaches that your inner world is your true domain. Everything outside of it, people's opinions, their expectations, their approval, is temporary and unstable. Yet many people build their lives chasing those very things, slowly losing themselves in the process. Valuing yourself is not arrogance. It is clarity. It is understanding that your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being are not cheap resources to be handed out without thought. When you begin to value yourself, you naturally start setting boundaries. And not everyone will like that. Some will call you selfish. Others will try to guilt you back into the version of you that was easier to control. But remember this, people benefit from your lack of boundaries, not from your growth. Peace is expensive. It requires discipline, self-awareness, and the courage to walk away from what disturbs your soul. You cannot have peace if you are constantly explaining yourself to people who refuse to understand you. You cannot have peace if you keep entertaining negativity just because you fear being alone. Stoicism reminds us that solitude is far better than bad company. In solitude, you find yourself. In chaos, you lose yourself. Most people don't realize that every time they tolerate disrespect, they are teaching others how to treat them. Every time you ignore your own needs to please someone else, you are reinforcing the idea that your peace is negotiable. But it is not. Your peace should be your highest priority because everything else in your life flows from it. Without it, even success feels empty. There is strength in walking away. Not every battle is meant to be fought, and not every person deserves your energy. Sometimes, the most powerful move is silence. Not reacting, not engaging, not lowering yourself to the level of negativity. That is control. That is power. That is Stoicism in action. You must learn to detach, not from love, not from connection, but from dependency. When your happiness depends on someone else's actions, you give them control over your emotional state. But when you find stability within yourself, nothing external can shake you easily. This is the foundation of inner peace. Value yourself enough to say no without guilt. Value yourself enough to rest when you are tired. Value yourself enough to walk away from anything that disrupts your mental clarity. Life becomes much lighter when you stop carrying what was never yours to hold. And here is the truth most people avoid. Protecting your peace will cost you relationships, opportunities, and sometimes even comfort. But what you gain is far greater. You gain self-respect. You gain clarity. You gain a life that feels aligned instead of forced. If this message resonates with you, if you are ready to stop losing yourself just to keep others, then this is your moment to take control. Subscribe to this channel for more powerful insights on Stoicism and personal growth. Your journey to a stronger, calmer, and more unshakable life starts here. The moment you decide to value yourself, everything begins to change, but not always in comfortable ways. You will start to notice things you once ignored. Conversations that drain you. Relationships that feel one-sided. Environments that quietly disturb your mind. What once felt normal will begin to feel heavy. This is not a setback. This is awareness. And awareness is the first step toward real freedom. You will also notice resistance. People who are comfortable with the old version of you may begin to question your change. They may accuse you of being distant, cold, or different. And they are right, you are different. You are no longer willing to sacrifice your peace just to maintain familiarity. Growth often looks like betrayal to those who benefited from your silence. Stoicism teaches that we cannot control how others respond to our transformation. What we can control is how firmly we stand in our decisions. When you choose peace, you are not rejecting others, You are choosing alignment with yourself. And that is a responsibility no one else can carry for you. There is a quiet power in being selective. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every argument deserves a response. Not every opinion deserves your attention. The more you understand this, the more your life becomes intentional instead of reactive. You begin to act with purpose rather than emotion. One of the hardest lessons is learning to let go without needing closure. Not every situation will give you the explanation you seek. Not every person will admit their faults. Sometimes peace comes from accepting that you may never fully understand why things happened the way they did. And that's okay. Your healing does not depend on their honesty. When you truly value yourself, your standards rise. You no longer entertain confusion, inconsistency, or disrespect. You become more comfortable with walking alone rather than settling for less than you deserve. This is not loneliness, it is self-respect in its purest form. Your mind becomes calmer. You stop overthinking every interaction. You stop replaying conversations in your head. You stop seeking validation in places that never gave it to you. Instead, you build a quiet confidence that does not need to be announced. It simply exists. And with that calmness comes clarity. You begin to see life for what it is, not what you hoped it would be. You accept people as they are, without trying to change them. You accept situations as they come, without unnecessary resistance. This acceptance is not weakness. It is wisdom. But valuing yourself is not a one-time decision. It is a daily practice. There will be moments when you are tempted to fall back into old patterns, overgiving, overexplaining, overthinking. In those moments, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of the peace you are protecting. You are not here to please everyone. You are not here to carry everyone's burdens. You are not here to lose yourself in the process of trying to be everything for everyone. You are here to live with intention, with balance, and with a deep respect for your own well-being. If you've made it this far, it means something inside you is ready to change. Don't ignore that feeling. Nurture it. Act on it. And continue this journey with us. Subscribe to this channel for more insights that will help you build inner strength, emotional control, and unshakable peace. Your transformation is not just possible, it has already begun. There is a moment in every transformation where things become quiet. Not peaceful at first, just quiet. The noise fades, the distractions lose their grip, and you are left alone with your thoughts. This is where most people turn back. Because facing yourself without distraction can feel uncomfortable. But this is also where your real strength is built. In that silence, you begin to understand who you are without the influence of others. You start to recognize your triggers. The things that once made you react instantly now become signals for awareness. Instead of responding emotionally, you pause. You observe. You choose your reaction instead of being controlled by it. This is one of the greatest powers Stoicism offers, the ability to remain steady in moments that once shook you. As you grow, your circle may become smaller. Not because you dislike people, but because you begin to value depth over quantity. Superficial connections no longer satisfy you. You seek conversations that challenge you, relationships that respect you, and environments that support your growth. Anything less begins to feel like a distraction from your purpose. You will also come to understand that peace is not something you find, it is something you create. It is built through the choices you make every day. The conversations you walk away from. The thoughts you refuse to entertain. The habits you choose to build. Peace is not an accident. It is a discipline. There will be days when maintaining that discipline feels difficult. Days when emotions run high and old habits call you back. But even in those moments, progress is not about perfection. It is about awareness. Catching yourself. Redirecting yourself. Choosing better, even if only slightly. Over time, those small choices become your new identity. You begin to trust yourself more. You no longer second-guess every decision. You no longer seek constant reassurance from others. There is a quiet certainty within you, a sense that no matter what happens, you will handle it. That confidence does not come from external success. It comes from mastering yourself. And once you reach that point, something powerful happens. You stop chasing. You stop forcing. You stop trying to control everything. Instead, you move with calm intention. You allow life to unfold without losing your center. You understand that not everything needs your intervention. This is what it means to truly value yourself. It is not loud. It is not boastful. It is calm, grounded, and unshakable. It is knowing your worth without needing to prove it. It is protecting your peace without needing to explain it. Take a moment and reflect on your life. Where are you giving too much of yourself? Where are you tolerating what you shouldn't? Where are you abandoning your own needs just to maintain comfort? These are the areas that require your attention. These are the areas where your growth begins. You have the power to change your life, not by controlling everything around you, but by mastering everything within you. That is the Stoic way. That is the path to true freedom. If this message speaks to you, then you already know what to do. Subscribe to this channel and continue this journey with us. There is so much more to learn, and every lesson will bring you closer to the strongest version of yourself. At some point, you will realize that peace is not just something you protect, it becomes something you embody. It shows in the way you speak, the way you move, and the way you respond to life. Situations that once overwhelmed you begin to feel manageable. Not because life has become easier, but because you have become stronger. You stop rushing. You stop feeling the need to prove yourself. There is no urgency to impress, no pressure to compete. You understand that your journey is your own, and comparison only steals your focus. This calm confidence becomes your foundation. And from that foundation, everything you build becomes more stable. You will also notice how differently you handle conflict. Where you once reacted quickly, you now respond with intention. You choose your words carefully or choose silence when words are unnecessary. You begin to understand that not every disagreement needs to be resolved, and not every misunderstanding needs to be corrected. Sometimes, protecting your peace means letting people think what they want. Another shift begins to happen. You become more aware of your energy. You start to sense when something feels off, even before it becomes obvious. And instead of ignoring it, you trust that feeling. This ability to trust yourself will save you from countless situations that once drained you. You will find comfort in your own company. Solitude will no longer feel like loneliness. It will feel like clarity. In those quiet moments, you recharge, reflect, and reconnect with yourself. You begin to enjoy your own presence without needing constant distraction. And as you grow in this way, you naturally inspire others. Not by preaching or forcing your beliefs, but by example. People will notice your calmness, your control, your ability to remain steady when things go wrong. Some will be curious. Some will feel challenged. But your focus is not on changing them. Your focus remains on maintaining your own balance. There will still be challenges. Life does not stop testing you just because you have chosen peace. But now, those challenges become opportunities to practice what you have learned. Each situation becomes a reminder of how far you have come. You will begin to understand a deeper truth. Nothing external was ever worth losing yourself for. No argument, no relationship, no situation is more valuable than your inner stability. Once you fully accept this, your decisions become clearer. You no longer hesitate to choose what is right for you. This journey is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming aware. Aware of your worth. Aware of your limits. Aware of what truly matters. And once you reach that level of awareness, you move through life with a sense of calm that cannot easily be shaken. So continue this path. Stay disciplined. Stay aware. And most importantly, stay true to yourself. If you're committed to building this kind of strength and protecting your peace at all costs, subscribe to this channel. There is more ahead, and each step will take you closer to a life of clarity, control, and unshakable confidence. Eventually, you reach a place where your peace becomes non-negotiable. Not in a rigid or defensive way, but in a deeply rooted understanding of what truly matters. You no longer feel the need to explain your boundaries or justify your decisions. You simply live by them. Quietly. Consistently. Without apology. You begin to see life with a different lens. What once felt urgent now feels insignificant. What once bothered you now barely touches your mind. This shift does not come from avoiding life, it comes from understanding it. You realize that most things are temporary, and reacting to everything only disturbs your inner balance. Your emotional independence becomes your greatest strength. You no longer rely on constant reassurance, validation, or approval. Compliments do not define you, and criticism does not break you. You accept both without letting either control your identity. This balance gives you a kind of freedom that many people spend their entire lives chasing. There is also a new level of discipline that emerges. You become intentional with your time. You protect your routines. You invest in habits that strengthen your mind rather than weaken it. You understand that peace is not just about avoiding negativity, it is about building a life that supports your stability. You stop chasing people who are unsure about you. You stop trying to convince others of your worth. You stop overextending yourself just to feel needed. Instead, you become grounded in your own value. You recognize that the right people will respect you without needing to be persuaded. There is a quiet detachment that forms within you. Not coldness, not indifference, but clarity. You care, but you do not cling. You love, but you do not lose yourself. You engage, but you do not depend. This balance allows you to experience life fully without being controlled by it. You also learn the power of letting things be. Not everything requires your effort. Not everything needs to be fixed. Some situations resolve themselves when you step back. Some people reveal their true nature when you stop interfering. And in those moments, you gain clarity without conflict. As time goes on, your standards continue to rise. Not out of ego, but out of self-respect. You become more selective with what you allow into your life, your environment, your relationships, your thoughts. You understand that everything you allow has an impact on your inner state. And with this awareness, your life becomes simpler. Not necessarily easier, but clearer. You know what you want. You know what you will not tolerate. You know where you stand. And that clarity removes a lot of the confusion and chaos that once surrounded you. You begin to appreciate the present moment more. Instead of constantly worrying about what could go wrong or chasing what you do not have, you find contentment in what is. This does not mean you stop growing, it means you grow from a place of stability rather than lack. This is the essence of valuing yourself. It is not about isolating yourself from the world. It is about engaging with the world without losing your center. It is about maintaining your peace no matter what is happening around you. So as you continue forward, remember this: your peace is your responsibility. No one else can protect it for you. No one else can maintain it for you. It is something you must choose, again and again, every single day. If this journey resonates with you, stay connected. Subscribe to this channel for more insights that will help you strengthen your mind, protect your energy, and live with intention. The path to a calm and powerful life is built one decision at a time, and you are already on your way. Over time, you begin to notice something remarkable. Life stops feeling like a constant struggle and starts feeling like a series of choices. You are no longer reacting blindly to everything that happens. Instead, you pause, reflect, and decide. That simple shift, from reaction to intention, changes everything. You start choosing what deserves your energy. You start choosing when to engage and when to step back. You start choosing peace over pride, clarity over chaos, growth over comfort. And with each choice, you reinforce a new identity, one that is grounded, disciplined, and fully in control of itself. There is also a deeper level of honesty that develops within you. You stop lying to yourself about what you feel, what you need, and what you deserve. You face uncomfortable truths with courage. You admit when something is no longer right for you, even if letting go is difficult. That honesty becomes a form of self-respect. You realize that not every chapter of your life is meant to be permanent. Some people are lessons. Some experiences are temporary. And trying to hold on to everything only creates suffering. When you accept this, letting go becomes less painful and more natural. Your focus shifts inward. Instead of constantly analyzing others, you begin refining yourself. your habits improve. Your thoughts become more structured. Your emotions become more stable. You invest your time in growth instead of distraction. And slowly your life reflects that effort. You also become more patient. You understand that real change does not happen overnight. There is no rush. No need to force outcomes. You trust the process. You trust your path. And most importantly, you trust yourself to handle whatever comes your way. There is a certain calm that comes from knowing you are no longer at war with yourself. Your actions align with your values. Your decisions reflect your priorities. You are no longer divided between what you want and what you tolerate. That alignment creates a sense of inner stability that cannot be easily shaken. You stop fearing loss the way you used to. Because you understand that anything that costs you your peace is not truly a loss, it is a release. A necessary step towards something better. This mindset frees you from clinging to what no longer serves you. And as you continue to grow, you begin to see your life as something you are actively shaping. Not through control of external events, but through mastery of your internal state. Your thoughts, your reactions, your discipline, these become your tools. This is where true power lies. Not in controlling others. Not in forcing outcomes. But in maintaining your center no matter what happens around you. That is the kind of strength that lasts. So keep going. Keep choosing yourself. Keep protecting your peace even when it feels difficult. Because every time you do, you are building a life that is rooted in clarity, strength, and purpose. If you're ready to continue this transformation and deepen your understanding of Stoicism, subscribe to this channel. There is more ahead, and each message will guide you closer to the calm, focused, and unshakable version of yourself. There comes a stage where your growth becomes undeniable, not because you announce it, but because it shows in everything you do. The way you handle pressure, the way you respond to disrespect, the way you carry yourself when no one is watching. You no longer need validation because your actions speak for you. You begin to understand that protecting your peace is not about avoiding life's challenges. It is about facing them without losing control of yourself. Problems will still come. People will still disappoint you. Unexpected situations will still arise. But now, you meet them with a calm mind and a steady presence. Your perspective continues to evolve. You stop seeing obstacles as interruptions and start seeing them as opportunities to strengthen your discipline. Every difficult moment becomes a test of your mindset. And instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "How can I grow from this?" This shift gives you an advantage that many people never develop. While others are overwhelmed by circumstances, you remain composed. While others react impulsively, you act with intention. That difference may seem small, but over time, it creates a completely different life. You also become more protective of your focus. Distractions lose their appeal. You are no longer easily pulled into drama, gossip, or unnecessary conflict. You understand that where your attention goes, your energy follows. And you choose to direct that energy toward things that actually matter. There is a deep sense of independence that grows within you. Not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. You are able to stand on your own without feeling incomplete. You enjoy connections, but you are not dependent on them. This independence gives you the freedom to make decisions based on truth, not fear. And with that freedom comes responsibility. You realize that no one else is in charge of your life. Your choices, your habits, your mindset, these are what shape your reality. This realization can feel heavy at first, but it is also empowering. Because it means you have the ability to change. You become more intentional with your words. You speak less, but with more purpose. You avoid unnecessary explanations. You do not feel the need to defend yourself in every situation. Sometimes your silence says more than any argument ever could. There is also a new level of resilience within you. Setbacks no longer break you. They teach you. You recover faster. You adapt quicker. You move forward without carrying unnecessary emotional weight. This resilience becomes one of your greatest assets. As you continue this journey, you realize something simple but powerful. You are no longer chasing peace, you are living it. It becomes your default state, not something you constantly struggle to maintain. So hold on to that. Protect it. Strengthen it. And never forget how far you have come. If you're committed to becoming this version of yourself, then stay on this path with us. Subscribe to this channel for more insights that will continue to sharpen your mind and strengthen your character. Your best self is not ahead of you. It is already being built, one decision at a time. At this stage, something within you becomes unshakable. Not because life has stopped testing you, but because you have stopped letting those tests define you. You understand that circumstances change, people change, outcomes change, but your inner state does not have to follow every external shift. You have learned to remain steady. You begin to value stillness. Not just physical silence, but mental clarity. The absence of unnecessary noise in your thoughts. You no longer entertain every worry, every fear, every imagined outcome. You choose what deserves space in your mind, and you let the rest pass without attachment. There is also a deeper sense of purpose that begins to guide you. You are no longer drifting through life reacting to everything. You move with intention. Your actions align with your values. You make decisions based on long-term peace, not short-term emotion. This clarity becomes your compass. You stop trying to control how others perceive you. Whether they misunderstand you, doubt you, or even judge you, it no longer disturbs your core. You understand that people see you through their own perspective, not your truth. And that realization frees you from unnecessary pressure. You also become more disciplined in how you handle your emotions. Not by suppressing them, but by understanding them. You allow yourself to feel, but you do not allow those feelings to control your actions. This balance gives you control without losing your humanity. As your mindset strengthens, your tolerance for chaos decreases. You naturally distance yourself from anything that threatens your peace. Not out of fear, but out of clarity. You know what it took to build this version of yourself, and you are not willing to lose it for temporary distractions. There is a quiet confidence in knowing that you can walk away at any time. From toxic situations. From unhealthy patterns. From anything that no longer aligns with who you are becoming. That ability alone changes how you move through life. You begin to see setbacks differently. They are no longer signs to stop, they are signals to adjust. You do not take them personally. You take them as information. And with that mindset, you keep moving forward without losing momentum. Your life becomes more intentional, more focused, more aligned. You waste less time on things that do not matter. You invest more energy into what truly does. And slowly, your reality begins to reflect that discipline. This is what it means to truly live with self-respect. It is not something you claim, it is something you practice. Every boundary you set, every decision you make, every moment you choose peace over chaos, all of it reinforces who you are becoming. So stay consistent. Stay aware. Stay committed to your growth. Because the version of you that lives in complete alignment, clarity, and control is not far away, it is being built right now. If this message continues to resonate with you, don't stop here. Subscribe to this channel and keep growing with us. There is always another level to reach, and together, we will keep moving forward, stronger, calmer, and completely in control.